Strength and conditioning. What is the best fuel source for collegiate athletes? Research for the past 50 years has demonstrated the impact of carbohydrates to increase performance, but limited in strength and conditioning. The vast majority of carbohydrate intake has been done on endurance performance, with little on resistance training and even lower on strength and conditioning athletes. However, with the research on carbohydrate supplementation, it has been shown to have mixed results in terms of efficacy and performance with varying different forms of training. Studies that have shown increases in performance with carbohydrate supplementation in resistance training have utilized dosages from 10 to 20% carbohydrate solutions. However, most commercially available sports beverages are 2 to 8% carbohydrate. Krings et al. In 2016 in the Journal of International Society of Sports Nutrition looked at just how carbohydrate supplementation affects strength and conditioning athletes in a double-blinded, randomized, and crossover design. They used a control group with just amino acid electrolyte solution and groups that had the amino acid solution plus a 15 or 30 or 60 gram of carbohydrate per hour at a 2-to-1 glucose fructose solution. The study consisted of 9 highly trained males. Right off the bat, this is a very small sample size, so results will certainly vary with a much larger base. Average calorie intake was 2,922 with a 46, 30, and 26% macro intake. All carbohydrate treatments improve performance compared to control. However, after utilizing the Bonferroni correction test, the comparison of control to 15 grams per hour was the only significant difference during dumbbell bench press final set to failure. Additionally, for a 27-meter sprint, a 60 gram per hour showed significant improvement as compared to control. Additionally, the 15 grams per hour resulted in significant improvements in performance in summation of total repetitions performed as compared to the 60 grams per hour. Also, when compared to control, all 3 carbohydrate dosages significantly improved performance during the dumbbell bench press. With a 95% confidence interval, the 15 grams per hour was greater than the 60 grams per hour. During the barbell bent over row, the 15 grams per hour and the 30 grams per hour demonstrated greater likely improvement compared to control and the 60 grams per hour. For the biceps curl, the 30 grams per hour was the greatest in performance with a 95.4% confidence, with even a likely decrease when comparing the 60 gram versus the 30 gram. For the overhead triceps extension, minimal increases in all 3 dosages. The dosage of 15 grams per hour had the greatest performance when compared to the control group, with a 96.7% of very likely. Performance with the 60 gram per hour was significantly lower than the 15 grams per hour. The 15 grams per hour is 99.2% to improve performance compared to the 60 gram per hour. The carbohydrate supplementation of 30 grams per hour had the likelihood to improve performance when compared to control, and 60 grams per hour was likely to negatively impact performance when compared to the 30 gram. Carbohydrate supplementation of 60 grams per hour had the greatest performance during the 27-meter and 18-meter sprints compared to the 15 to 30 grammer and the control group. In terms of max broad jumps, the greatest likelihood to improve performance was seen when 60 gram per hour was compared to the 30 gram per hour. However, all 3 carbohydrate dosages were likely to improve performance compared to control. Based off the results, they were able to determine that carbohydrate ingestion overall appears to be more beneficial from an ergogenic standpoint. There are limitations, however. Throughout the investigation, dietary information was measured, although not 24 hours prior to experimental testing, which could have an impact on performance due to muscle glycogen stores. Secondly, there was no true placebo group to show differences between a carb and a control to a no supplemental group. And lastly, no mechanistic data such as blood markers. With the limitations explained, the data suggests that a carb intake of 15 to 30 grams per hour with approximately 500 milliliters of fluid will likely lead to greater overall performance compared to supplementing only amino acids during strength and conditioning.